Want to know how an old man waters veggies with tears? True story. He used onions instead at his dead wife's skull and even built a self-hitting machine. He tortured himself emotionally and physically to shed tears, and unexpectedly he used those tears to water his veggies. The old man was making a living by farming, but no matter how much he watered them, his veggies just wouldn't. But the veggies looked like they were drowning, so he started pruning branches to give them a boost, but before long, the leaves drooped again. The old man was pretty bummed out, so he hurriedly nailed some iron spikes to the leaves and hung magnets above to make them look lively. But soon enough, the leaves drooped again, leaving the old man even more frustrated. Then he had a bright idea: tie a string to the tops. He tied a balloon on the other end, hoping the lift would keep the leaves vibrant, but before long, the leaves snapped, and the balloon floated away. After all the fuss, the old man lost many hard-grown veggies and shed tears at the sight. What he didn't expect was that his tears falling on the leaves gave them new life. He was crying out of sadness, but now he shed tears of joy, which soon dried up. Seeing his dead vegetables, he had no choice but to use onions again. This way he could keep coaxing tears out, and with his salty gifts his veggies started bouncing back. But soon enough, the onions stopped working too, leaving him gazing at his late wife's head to spark those tears again. Unexpectedly, he invented a self-hitting machine that whacked his head and kicked his butt effortlessly. A combination of emotional and physical torture helped him shed plenty of tears, and his veggies grew more robust. However, things soon got out of control, with veggies towering over his house. After a day's work, he prepared for bed, proud of his giant veggies seen through the window. Then he fell asleep smiling. But later that night, a herd of snails invaded his garden. All of his lovingly nurtured veggies became a snail buffet. The next day, the old man woke up stunned. All veggies in the fields were gone. Then his house shook. Peeking outside, he saw giant snails wandering through his garden, pushing his little house along, while squashing cars on the road. Even trains had to halt when they ran into them. Cars and people on the streets were now just snacks underfoot for the hungry snails. The famished snails began heading toward the big city. Meanwhile, a blonde beauty was getting ready for a bath. Unbeknownst to her, two enormous antennae spotted her, and before she knew it, she was captured and devoured by the snail. Before long, there was a second victim, an adorable little girl. The snails lured her into their shells with dazzling lights. When the people in the city realized they were being invaded by snails, chaos erupted, and it wasn't long before the city was overrun. Buildings crumbled like toys before them, and after a night of madness, the city was left in ruins. All that remained were some homeless elders and a few survivors. The hungry snails, seeing nothing left to eat, skedaddled. They wandered off to open spaces where they frolicked and formed all sorts of shapes. Can any keen observers tell what symbols they were making, or what letters they make? Share guesses in comments. Seeing snails gather, humans build taller buildings. Everything was gradually returning to normal, but in the farm, the old man kept growing vegetables, only to find the carrots wouldn't grow, no matter how much he watered. So he pulled out the onions again and soaked them with tears, and as expected, the carrots grew quickly. But it attracted rabbits, and a new cycle was to start. Unbelievable, it's a 1966 French animated short. But we hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun content.